Welcome to the Freewrite, a show where we dive into the art of songwriting, storytelling, and the creative process. Join me as I sit down with writers, musicians, and other creatives to talk about process, inspiration, and creating something from nothing. If you're an artist looking for community or a fan hungry to hear about the creative process, there's something for you here. My guest today is Remi Goode. Remi is a classical guitarist turned alternative folk singer-songwriter based in Nashville. Receiving comparisons to Suzanne Vega and Kathleen Edwards, Goode's debut album, Things I've Said Before, released September 2025, is an introduction to the indie artist who straddles the borders between different worlds. A nylon string guitarist nodding to the classical training and contemporary influences of her past, while pushing toward a wider sound, she creates her own version of modern-day American roots music, one that has, quote, an intimacy to it that feels almost intrusive, according to Glide magazine. I really enjoyed this conversation with Remi. She had lots of good insights to share on the real gritty process of songwriting, and speaking as someone who's familiar with that, I really appreciated it. So I think you'll get a lot out of today's episode, and I really hope you enjoy this episode with Remi Goode. Remi, thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you taking the time to be here, and I'm excited to talk to you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me.
Of course. So before we dive deep into different parts of songwriting, I'm just curious if you could tell me about your path to songwriting.
Yeah, I actually started as a classical guitarist. So as a kid, I was taking lessons. I got my first guitar when I was 7 for Christmas, and I started taking lessons after that. And I was also in choir in the Tucson Girls Chorus, where I'm from, Tucson, Arizona. And so yeah, I was doing music from the time I was very little, but in a kind of, formal setting.
Yeah.
But I had a very cool guitar teacher, and he knew that I liked to sing. So he kind of invited me, I guess, to put the two things together and was like, have you ever thought about singing and playing and or writing songs?
Yeah.
So I started trying it when I was maybe 11 or 12. And at first I was basically singing like a little choir kid and then playing guitar. So it sounded really funny. But eventually I started being able to sing like, a normal like pop singing or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then when did writing begin?
Around the same time.
Okay.
I don't have like a specific memory of like a moment that I was like, oh, like I don't know. I feel like I hear other artists be like, this artist made me want to be a songwriter, and I don't have that. I think I just tried it and was like, oh, okay, I think this is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your classical guitar background is super interesting to me. I grew up playing guitar. My dad is a full-time guitarist. Like that's how he's made his living ever since I've known him. So like guitar was always a part of my life. And then for a few years I took classical piano lessons and like dreaded it. I really didn't, typical story.
I get that.
Yeah. What was your experience with the guitar? Like how long did the classical guitar last? You said when you were 7, and then until when were you like putting like energy into the formal training?
I did it through college. So yeah, a long time. I was just like everybody else, and I dreaded it, and I hated practicing, and I tried to quit several times.
Is this before college or during, or like
just like throughout my whole childhood.
Okay.
Yeah. I did like competitions and things like that, and those were pretty like maybe burnout, I guess you could call it. But yeah, I did it through college, and that was part of like I think I was always kind of encouraged to keep going because it was like there's like potential here, and so you should keep doing what you're good at. And in college I could get financial help in college by doing it. Um, and then again, my professor in school was very cool, and she kind of let me stop playing classical repertoire because I asked her.
Yeah.
Um, and so I just started kind of treating my lessons with her as like an accountability system to write songs, and she was okay with that.
Whoa.
Um, and so I would just show her my songs and she would help me as much as she could. Uh,
Yeah.
because she was already kind of like very different, like against the norm compared to most classical guitar professors. I mean, she like became a professor. I went to Arizona State
Mhm.
University. She's not there anymore, but she like started as a professor there when she was like 26, so like super
Oh,
young.
wow.
A
Yeah.
female professor also in guitar. I was like her only female student also, which was I think why she maybe gave me some special treatment.
Sure.
And she also kind of had she did like new music, which is like some crazy experimental stuff. So she kind of had
Sure.
she understood like having a thing outside of classical repertoire. So I think that's why she was cool about it. But
Cool.
yeah, I was always kind of trying to get away from classical repertoire because I think I knew that it wasn't really what I wanted to be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool. Well, I'm definitely gonna bring it up again a little bit
cool.
later when we start talking more about certain things in the writing process. But I want to now share like the name of this podcast, the Free Write. It's kind of
Mhm,
twofold. One is free writing is a practice my mom taught me just to like set the timer for 8 minutes and start the pen and don't let it stop until the timer goes off. And just that's a free
okay.
write. You just write whatever's on your head to like kind of get the juices flowing.
Mhm.
And then the other side of it too is I think a lot of the best writing happens when we feel free to create and just like we're not too constrained of I don't know comparison or what all the typical
Yeah.
things that we hear about writing. I'm curious for you, are there any practices near the songwriting practice that help you kind of get into the creative phase? Um, and or is it just a like let's sit down and go?
I definitely feel like ideas maybe start to flow when I'm doing something else.
Mm,
Like when I'm driving, I like to drive in silence because then I can kind of think. And then a lot of times I'll start to think about lyrics or
yeah,
ideas, or like when I'm in the shower or something, something
yeah,
where you like kind of can't be doing anything else
yeah,
but the thing that you're doing. So I've noticed that a lot of times I have those moments and I'm feeling like creative in those moments, and then when I then go to like sit down to write, I'm like, now I feel like I've lost it. Like, now what?
yeah. Okay, well, walk me through that. Like, do you need to do anything to try to like set the mood or like get in the zone, or is it like, oh, I had this idea, let me sit down and try to pound it out? Like, what's going on in like the initial moments of starting a song or start the idea to songwrite?
Yeah, maybe I should try it. Like
Lighting a candle
curating an
and
atmosphere or something, because I don't, and
yeah.
I get stuck a lot. Like I
Okay.
think I'm like the queen of writer's block.
Oh man,
Um,
not a good title to give
yeah,
yourself. Yeah.
yeah, no. Um, yeah, the starting of a song, I feel like I do this thing a lot where I kind of have like the very beginning and I'll get like part of the way through and then be
Hmm.
like, hmm,
Yeah.
yeah, and I stop there.
And is
Um,
that part of the way through like an initial idea, like a verse, or is that like part of the way through a song
um,
or all of it?
it's like maybe like a stanza or something that I'm like, I don't know if this is a verse. I don't know if
Sure.
this what this is. And then like sometimes a lot of times it's set to music. So it's like a thing. It's like a little package that I like. And then I don't know where to like go from there?
Yeah. With those initial ideas, is your I mean, I'm assuming here that your process is guitar in hand. I think just with the
Hmm.
guitar training. Is that your
Yeah.
usual?
Yeah.
What will come first if you're sitting down? Are you starting to noodle? Or are you coming in with a lyric idea? Or again, if it's always different, I totally understand that too, but I'm curious if there is kind of like a typical.
Yeah, it changes, but I think I am such a lyrics person. Like that's what I like about other songs. Like I
Yeah.
appreciate lyrics a lot. Um, so I do, and I think the reason why I have any urge at all to write songs, even though I think it's like the hardest thing ever, is because I want to say something. So like I think
Hmm.
the lyrics are like the point, I guess, even though I don't know. Most of my friends or like anybody I talk to is like, I don't even listen to the lyrics. I'm like, oh, great.
I
You
know.
know?
It's so funny the different ways that we all listen to music.
Yeah. And that's cool. I mean, sometimes I don't listen to them either, I guess. Depends on the vibe. So yeah, I think I start with the lyrics, for the most part, because it's like, here's the thing I'm gonna try and say, or like the point I'm gonna try and get across.
Yeah.
Um, but the music, and by music I mean guitar part that I play,
Hmm.
um, comes very closely afterwards because I've never really like been able to write like a ton of lyrics without kind of knowing what it sounds like
Yeah.
first, you know. But usually the melody does come last because that kind
Hmm.
of comes like a. I feel like once I have like a guitar part and some words, I can kind of just like melody feels kind of like an improv on top of that, you know. Like I
Yeah.
just, which is probably why I end up with a lot of songs where the melody changes a lot, and then people are like, "So what is the chorus melody?" Because I've like changed it in the different choruses because I've come
Sure.
up with lots of different melodies. Um, but
I
that's
like
like the
that.
fun part is like
Yeah.
the improvising part.
There's a
But
part of like the when you read a songwriting book and they're like the the two verse melodies must be the same melody. And
yeah,
I'm like, come on, some of my favorite songs are where things are different and changing and
yeah,
like I don't think we need that to our brain like we don't need to latch on to I don't know. So I
hmm,
appreciate that. I appreciate that you're changing it up and like making it interesting and
yeah. I get a little, I guess, self-conscious
you
about
feel
that
mixed
because
about it.
yeah, because I'm like, maybe there's just not enough to latch on to as the listener.
Mm,
If,
like not catchy enough.
yeah, or like I've gotten this feedback
Mm,
like from people that are learning my music, like to play it with me, that they're like, so which one's the verse and which one's the
that's
chorus?
funny.
Like, I don't
Whatever
know
you
if
want.
that should be the good question, you know, if it's obvious. Um,
Sure.
yeah.
When you're again, I'm thinking of like those that initial phase. Are you writing like a guitar part with like at the beginning or are you just kind of strumming chords?
I'm usually kind of writing a guitar part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, I really like to write a guitar part that is kind of like has like something going on in its own right, you know,
Yeah.
or like has like a melody to it.
Yeah.
Because then it kind of feels like contrapuntal almost or something. Like there's like, which that doesn't happen in all of them. Some of them are songs that are just strumming songs, and that's
Sure.
fine too. Yeah, I like to write like a full guitar part
Yeah.
if I come up with something cool.
Sure.
What I think is like my job as the songwriter is to write a guitar part and to write like a vocal part. From there, it's not like the song anymore. It's like the arrangement or whatever we decide to do with it after that.
Sure.
I think I do get a little maybe this is like the my guitar training or something, but I do get a little protective over my guitar part because I'm like, no, that's the song. Um,
Yeah.
and like there can obviously be other guitars and other instruments doing things, but like I would
Sure.
like my guitar part to stay how I wrote it.
Yeah. Is there anything that you're really trying for in songwriting? Is there anything you really like a Northern Star kind of for when you're
Hmm.
writing?
Yeah. I kind of said this before, but I do think that like what I'm going for is like making a point, I guess, or like I'm
Mm,
trying to say something. And
yeah.
I do find myself like writing about similar things. So then I guess I'm like, okay, that must be the point I'm trying to make, like over and over
Sure.
again or something. At least that was clear after I like was kind of putting together this like record that I put out at the end of last year. And I was like,
Yeah.
okay, now I have to talk about the record, right? Once you make it, you have to talk about it.
Right.
And I was like, oh, so this is all about kind of a similar thing,
Yeah.
at least in my eyes. And musically, I guess like the thing that I shoot for is not all the songs sounding the same. That's kind of like a thing that I probably overly worry about, honestly,
Mm.
because I think it's possible to go too far the other direction.
Sure.
And then it's like, what is your sound? I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah.
Um, but I kind of like, at least when I was writing those songs for the record, I was kind of thinking of like checking boxes kind of sounds bad, but like I was like, oh, I've never written a song that has like mixed meter in it, or I've never written a song in this key, or I've never
Yeah.
written a song that, is in this form. I don't know. Like I would have kind of like little assignments for myself to
Yeah.
kind of keep it interesting or like keep it like
Sure.
that'll be different from the other song.
Hmm.
Um, and then I ended up with a record where all the songs sound really different from each other. Uh, but yeah, that's
As a
kind of
listener
something I
who
think.
has been listening to it, I think they sound cohesive. I think they have
Okay, that's
I
good.
think they have a lovely, yeah, that I wasn't listening thinking, oh, these are all jumbled and confusing.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Um, I wasn't trying to, fish for reassurance, but
No, no, I don't feel like you were.
okay,
I was really enjoying listening through it.
cool.
I want to ask about something that you recently posted to Instagram. You posted like I think a Substack article, right? Of
Yeah,
being
yeah.
understood in your music.
Hmm.
I really related to it. I don't know if you're familiar with the Enneagram.
Yeah, I don't know what my Enneagram is,
Okay, well,
but I know of it.
yeah, I got way into it a couple years ago, and now I just am one of those people who brings it up at any chance they get.
Nice.
So I'm a 4 on the Enneagram, and one of the um, like core things for a 4 is wanting to be understood, or like
Okay.
really hating when they feel misunderstood. So I was reading your
Yeah.
just what you posted to Instagram, very much relating to it and wanting to ask you about it and just hear you kind of say more on that.
Yeah. I started a Substack super recently. I mean, that was like my first actual article that I put, or I don't know, article's a strong word,
Sure.
thing that I wrote that I put
Post.
on there.
Yeah.
Um, and I honestly kind of started the Substack because, well, for a lot of reasons, partially because songwriting is hard and I like to write, but sometimes it feels a little like the music aspect, is a constraint in the writing. Like sometimes it feels like an easier ask to just write sentences and not worry about how they fit in with anything.
Sure. How they
Even though
sound being
that's,
sang and how they
yeah,
rhyme and yeah,
even though that's like literally the point of songwriting and that's what makes it like so cool.
sure.
So yeah, I like the kind of like journal writing and just writing prose and making that sound good,
Yeah.
it being a different thing. So I wanted to do more of that and see if I could find kind of a community on there, outside of social media and outside of my email list, which, is more of like that's kind of more of like a, I guess, promotional thing, right? Like letting people know what's up.
Yeah.
Um, but anyway, that's just a Substack pitch, I guess. I also wanted to do Substack because I tend to feel misunderstood. So it's kind of a good way to explain yourself, which I guess the point of that article was that you should spend less time explaining yourself. But um, I don't know. I
Yeah.
I do have. this kind of obsession, I guess, with feeling misunderstood or wanting to be understood. And it's like it's in my regular life too. It's not in music and it's not with the world at large. Like I don't expect the world or anybody who comes into contact with me to understand me. The places it comes up the most is just like in my personal relationships, right? Like
Hmm.
I I want my partner to understand me. And for the most part, he does. And that's awesome. But I guess I was thinking about like the idea of being understood because, even someone that you've been with for 8 years and who understands you like more than anybody else, and you've like talked to death with this person about like everything you could possibly talk about,
Yeah.
like you still get into standings with them, right?
Hmm.
So it's like impossible to
Yeah.
be understood, right? You can't control what other people understand.
Yeah.
Um, and there's like nothing that you can say or do that ensures that somebody understands.
Yeah.
Um, so I guess that translates to music because it's even more up to interpretation. Like it's even more vague and like
Yeah.
it's a creative practice. Like it's not about me ultimately, which sometimes is a hard pill to swallow because I'm doing it
Yeah.
for my own expression, right? Like I'm doing
Yeah.
it to say what I want to say and to get my own creativity out and whatever you want to say. But
Hmm.
I think the point of music is to be shared. And then once you do that, it's like not about me anymore. It's about
Yeah.
what people are getting out of it. And then I have to, and then I have to give up on being understood.
What is that like for you? Do you find there to be like a freedom in the fact that like whatever song you write, people are gonna hear? I was just talking with someone about this, that like the amount of times that I've been asked about the meaning of a song,
Hmm.
that someone has been like, "Oh, is that about me?" And I'm like, "No, it's like," but my experience is that people will hear a song of mine through the lens of how does it relate to me, literally, like if I know them. So
Yeah.
I'm wondering about
People
that.
ask
Like,
you that?
what?
People ask you that?
A couple
If
of
it's
times.
that it's about, they think it's about them.
Yeah.
Wow.
Um, which like when it's not, it's like there's a misunderstanding there, but at the same time I so strongly relate to what you're saying about like once the song is out, it's not for me anymore. It's now
Hmm.
how we all hear it through our own lens of whatever. So I'm wondering if is that a part of the songwriting process that you have grown to appreciate, or is it something that like yeah, I don't know. Also like with sharing about like meanings of songs. I know like a lot
Hmm.
of
Yeah.
performers when they like before they play a song, they'll talk about it and like say what it's about. So there isn't really that much of an interpretation because we're like being told. So like yeah,
Yeah.
what's any thoughts on any
I
of that?
know. That is hard. I know. You get kind of told or like there's this idea that you shouldn't really talk that much about what your songs are about because
Hmm.
then it kind of takes that away from people to be able to come up with what it's about. And that is hard for me because I do want to share what I think it's about. Um,
Yeah.
because kind of like what I said in my Substack thing, like I do have an interpretation and like there was a reason that I wrote it in that way or like there was something I
Yeah.
was trying to say, right? So like I feel like hey, like that's part of the work I did, right? Is like
Yeah.
coming up with a point. I do talk about what my songs are about on
Yeah.
stage and I feel like I don't or I try not to talk about it like here's this and this, like, like everything. I don't know. It's
Yeah.
hard. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not something I've totally accepted, I guess I will say.
Sure.
Yeah. Plus, I think that, I don't know, I also think it's like part of how an audience can like relate to the songwriter is
Sure.
them talking about what their songs are about. Like I
Hmm.
have seen that in artists that I like or like artist interviews, whatever you come across of like musicians talking. Um, and sometimes they'll talk about what they were thinking about or what they were going through that made a song happen. And then I'm like, oh, like
Oh,
that
yeah.
kind of makes it cooler, or that actually is what's relatable to me or something.
Hmm.
So I think that actually can like make your people closer to you sometimes.
Totally.
So I don't know.
I
It's a
think a
mystery.
lot of it has to do with like genre as well, because I feel
Yeah.
like there are certain genres that it makes more sense to. Like especially
Mhm.
when it is like an intimate show. If it's like, because when you perform it, it's usually you, guitar, and
And
then
I always perform with my partner Gabe,
okay,
who
yeah.
he sings and plays guitar too. So
It's
it's
always you
usually
two.
a duo. Yeah.
And that seems like the perfect context to like hang out with the audience and share a little
Mhm.
bit about it. Like that seems like the context in which it would work the best.
Yeah, yeah. And a lot of the songs like have references to or are about our relationship. So then it kind of like I will talk about our relationship a little bit or like,
Yeah.
so I feel like that gives people some context because they're seeing
Yeah.
us and
What
then
is that like? That seems like it could be like a cathartic experience to just like you're singing a song about a thing with your partner and you're playing the song with your partner and you're
yeah.
telling everyone about your partner in front of your partner.
Yeah.
Like there's so much there. What is that like?
Yeah. I really like it. I think it's fun. I really like playing with him. And I mean, speaking of being understood, I think it's one of the ways that we do understand each other is that I think we play well together.
Hmm.
And, not all of the songs are, necessarily like love songs or like 100% happy, like
Right.
about each other, but that's just because I don't really write songs like that.
Yeah.
I think maybe it's interesting for folks because the song's not necessarily like super lovey-dovey or anything like that, but I think people can see in our interactions that like there is love there or whatever. And so I
Yeah.
think they're like, okay, like we can feel okay. I don't know.
Sure.
Maybe that's part of it. I'm not sure. No one
Yeah.
has ever
Yeah.
told me that, but that's
No, it
kind of
makes sense.
how I'm thinking of it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, forgive me because we haven't talked about how hard songwriting can be already. But what can be the hardest part of a songwriting process?
Um, the hardest, honestly, I kind of have this like mentality about songwriting that it's like, why do I do this again? So I don't know. I kind of think it's all hard.
Yeah.
Um, and I really wish that wasn't so. And I do get jealous of people that are like, I just love songwriting.
Well,
Um,
let me ask you this then. What keeps you coming back?
I've been trying to figure that out.
Hell yeah. You know what?
Yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
yeah, I don't know. I
Hmm.
think there's something about it which I don't know if it's like a healthy thing or not, but there's something about it that makes me feel like it's the best way that I can say what I need to say or like,
Yeah.
get out what I need to get out.
Hmm.
And I don't feel like I I songwrite as therapy. Like some people talk about that where they're
Hmm.
like, why wouldn't be okay if I didn't write songs? Like I process through songwriting.
Yeah.
And I don't think that is the case for me because I can go years without doing it, and I have done.
Yeah.
And I I process through talking about things, and I process through other methods. Like I
Yeah.
have to write a song to like feel okay about my life. I think it's almost kind of like it's like a period at the end or something, like writing a song.
Mm.
I feel like if something has happened or if there's, something that is like deserving of a song, whatever, I will like process that thing by talking about it, time, whatever non-songwriting thing.
Hmm.
And then once I feel like I have like all the pieces together, it's like then I can write the song. So
Yeah.
it almost feels like maybe that's why it's so hard. It's like I'm putting too much on the song, or it means too much,
Mm.
or it weighs too much or something.
Yeah.
But it kind of feels like it like encapsulates like the whole thing. Like that's why it's like both sides of the story. It's like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but
Yeah. Have you written with people before?
no,
Well,
I never have.
yeah.
I've always been kind of scared too.
Yeah.
Um, because I write very slow. And I've felt that co-writing is way too fast for me. Uh,
What does that mean? What does slow mean?
like like it'll take me like at least a month, but probably more to write a song.
And is that like how many like sessions of like sitting down with it? Or is it just kind of a perpetual kicking around or
It's a lot of kicking around,
yeah.
and
How
I
much
feel
of that
like
time is you with guitar in hand?
mm, I don't know. Sometimes I'll sit there and then do nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like I'll sit there with my guitar and I'll just like play, and then I'll like leave that and be like, did I do anything? I don't know. Um,
Yeah.
and so I'm just like, I can't introduce anybody else to this process. That's crazy. Um, and also I get nervous about like having somebody else who just like is like staring at me and I have to come up with something.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean I am forgive me, I'm still so curious about your process. Like
Oh,
when
you're
you
good. I don't get it either.
no, like when you are like you said it might take a month. How okay, let me frame it through like selfishly for myself. I
Uh-huh.
have found that if I don't like knock out a full draft in one session, that it's like so hard for me to come back to that like the energy and the mood maybe that I
Yeah.
was in or like just the way I was feeling when I first wrote it. It feels hard to find in a subsequent session and I sometimes feel like the whatever I write in those following sessions to the same song don't have the same kind of like energy or
Mhm.
life that they did on day one. And it's hard for me to like finish it at that point. Like if I don't have a full draft that I feel more like I'm editing or punching up versus
Right.
like creating something new to it. So how do you like find that feeling or that energy or that thing, that like essence of the song? How do you keep that alive over the course of a month?
Yeah. I have had that problem. I think that's why I tend to write about things that feel like they're like recurring problems
Yeah.
in my life. They're kind of like things that I can always come back to emotionally.
Yeah.
And lyrically, I think that's why I tend to be so measured. Like it's almost like I'm like playing devil's advocate for myself, right?
Mm.
Like I'm arguing both sides. I
Yeah.
feel like I do that a lot where because I've had so much time to stew that I'm arguing with myself at that point. Like none of
Yeah.
my songs are like from the perspective of a fleeting emotion, like that angry or like something that's like that, something that like, once you've had some time to think about it, you
Mm.
still feel that way.
Yeah.
Because I don't do it that quick.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm
which yeah, that's why I haven't checked that box of angry song yet because I'm going that fast.
well, that seems healthy that you're able to
Yeah,
not sit with that anger for a month, that's
yeah,
good.
yeah, that's good.
Um, well, this is making me now excited to go back through your album and like listen to it with this perspective of it being
Okay,
like
yeah.
these are things that are like more I don't know, lasting or consistent or I don't know. I like that. I think it's interesting. How do you know when a song is done after that month of working on it or however
Uh,
long? How do you uh when it let me first ask this. When you feel like it's done, is it then like, okay, time it's ready to record and you like go into recording process with it?
I haven't really recorded straight after finishing yet.
Hmm.
Uh, we've usually kind of played the songs out a lot first.
Okay, so
Um,
talk to me about how
yeah.
at what point you're ready to play it for people.
Yeah, I try to play it as soon as I feel like I won't forget all the words,
Hmm.
um, which I forget words a lot. Yeah, I really like having like I guess stage experience with a song before recording it because I feel like recording makes me really nervous, like committing to
Yeah,
something and
sure.
having that be kind of like the I don't know, end all be all version or something. Not that you can't make other recordings of songs, and I I like other versions of songs, but
Hmm.
recording's a whole other, can of worms. But yeah, it it kind of happened just because the recording process took so long for this record because like we were in college for pretty much all of the recording. And so just, things moved slower because we were students and having to do
Yeah.
that. And but we had this college band that we were playing out with a lot and playing all those songs. And so those kind of arrangements ended up being on the record a lot,
Hmm.
mostly as they were played out. Um,
Yeah.
and that I think is what I kind of wanted, even though that's not how my life is anymore because I'm not in school. Um, I that I think is important to me because I feel like you can kind of tell when a song goes straight from being written to recorded and it hasn't like experienced real life because it's like I don't know. It's important to me that a song like that recordings can be played out and not be weird.
Sure. Once you start playing it live, will you go back and tweak things, edit lyrics, edit parts? Or is it more of just a testing process to see if it sticks?
Mm. Yeah, I haven't edited lyrics so much, but definitely edited parts.
Hmm.
And um, Gabe's part changes a lot.
Mm.
He seems to always be kind of tweaking things.
Yeah.
Um, he has the same classical background that I do. We had the
Hmm.
same teacher growing up,
Oh, cool.
um, which is actually how we met.
Yeah.
And so he's also very, you know, particular and detail oriented about his guitar parts.
Yeah.
And he's always kind of working on making a guitar part that kind of like interlocks with mine in a
Hmm.
way. So yeah, his will kind of change a lot as we play out, and then that'll be what ends up on the recording.
Yeah.
Um, and then I mean, when we had the band, the the band would kind of figure out what they were doing and what would end up on the recording. I don't know
Sure.
what will happen now because we don't play with a band now. We don't have one in Nashville really.
Mm.
We play with a bassist. So we've been figuring some every now and then we play with him.
Yeah.
Um, so we've been figuring some stuff out with him, but
Yeah.
we'll see for the next project as that starts
Yeah.
to come along. I have to write the songs first.
Heck yeah. Talk to me too about like guitar tone, because it's, I don't know, the tone of recording, or the tone of like your voice, the guitar, everything on the recordings feels and sounds like so good, and it like really meshes well
Oh,
together.
thanks.
So yeah, talk to me about guitar tone. I think coming from
Yeah.
that classical guitar world, I'm wondering just what
Mhm.
your thoughts are with that now in this slightly different world.
Yeah, guitar tone. I still play with classical technique. So I play with my fingernails on my right hand and I file them in a weird shape and I use buff paper to make my nails very smooth. And
Hmm.
that's how I play. And I play on a nylon string acoustic electric Taylor. So they're not too common. Um, Taylor doesn't make very many nylon string guitars.
Hmm.
I think a lot of people are actually playing nylon string guitars now. I think it's kind of coming back. I see them on Instagram a lot.
Yeah,
Um, Not that it was ever gone, but I just think it's kind of getting popular.
sure.
Um, but yeah, I think the classical like way of playing with the your nails is like Gabe and I both do that still. Um, and that just has a very particular sound that like finger picking with your fingertips,
Hmm.
like most folks that are doing finger picking,
Yeah,
um, doesn't sound. It has like a more like clear sound. I think when it's your fingertips, there's kind of like this like muted, like fleshy sound,
yeah,
which I like the sound of, but it's just different.
yeah.
Um,
Cool.
and I mean, Gabe plays electric guitar sometimes, and he doesn't use a pick. Like he
Hmm.
still plays with his little classical guitar nails on his electric guitar. So
Yeah,
that definitely adds a, a different sound.
heck yeah.
Yeah.
Now, for the part of the show that I found is people usually don't love talking about
Mm,
visuals for music, for, and forgive me for setting the bar there, but
mhm.
talk to me about visuals. Like, I definitely do want to get into the social media stuff because I think it's
Uh-huh.
a part of it, and I think that just from what little I've seen, you do it well, or at least you seem to know what you're doing there, and that's me
Oh, thanks.
projecting. But uh I guess starting with just like the more concrete, I guess, visuals for projects, album art, um, I don't know, music video, Spotify Canvas, anything. What's your
Mhm.
experience like with the artwork associated with your project?
Yeah. Um, I like visuals. It it can be hard to kind of connect the the music side with the visual side,
Hmm.
even though I appreciate visuals a lot. And
Yeah.
I actually like I was an art history major along
Mm.
with the music thing
Yeah.
in college. So like I love art. But yeah, somehow coming up with something visual connected to my music has been difficult. But I like where we ended up with this record and what things have been lately, like I don't know,
Yeah.
in this era or um
Sure.
and I think that was because I kind of tried to just how did I start? I think I thought of the kinds of things that I wear and like
Hmm.
gravitate towards color wise. And basically just like chose like 5 colors and was like, okay, everything's going to be these 5 colors.
Yeah.
And that's really nice because now like my website, those 5 colors, and everything like the emails that I send out are those 5 colors, and like
Yeah.
everything I do is those 5 colors. And like I have the hex codes for those 5 colors, and everything's those 5 colors.
Yeah.
And it's, not perfect. Like I guess I don't perfectly stick to it, but like,
Sure.
ideally. And then I think I found a photographer that I really liked and felt like the her work matched like the vibe of the music. And then um just did a big photo shoot with her. And then we kind of were able to kind of pull most of what we needed from that.
Nice.
Um, and then things are kind of like automatically cohesive because of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of iterations. Um, and I think in the past, I have been scared of like feeling annoying,
Mm,
asking people that I'm hiring to change things and
sure.
like do more iterations. And I tried really hard to put that aside during the process and just ask them to do it again or change
Nice.
things because it's okay to they probably don't think that you're annoying, and if they do,
Yeah.
it's okay because you're paying them.
Yeah. Yeah. Valid.
Yeah.
Okay, what about social media? Talk to me about that
Yeah.
process.
um I have my ups and downs with social media. Sometimes I feel like I'm like it's like all I can think about, and I'm like, okay, my next post, and it's like i'm
Yeah.
I'm killing it. And then
Mhm.
sometimes I like it's like my brain will not think about it. And I've kind of been in one of those phases lately where I haven't really been keeping up with it.
Yeah.
Um, and then I'm like,
Uh,
I'm gonna make a schedule, I'm gonna do it, and then
yeah.
I just like will not think about it. But
Well, I brought this up with Madeline, but you are also a star of the car cooking. Is that
yeah, the
I forgot what
cooking in
it's
the car.
cooking in the car series.
Yes.
I'm a
Yes.
fan. My introduction to that was the Ninja Creamy episode
Oh
that
yeah. Yeah.
our friend Tanner told me to check out because I have a Ninja Creamy as well.
Nice.
But yeah, great series.
Thanks.
Everyone should check out the
Yeah.
Re- Remi Goode and Madeline Kelson cooking in the car series.
Yeah. It was really fun on tour.
Yeah,
Yeah, we're gonna try and keep it up on Gabe and I are going on a, a short tour in July. Not
nice.
with Madeline, unfortunately,
Hmm.
but we're gonna try and do some version of it without her.
Heck yeah,
So
sweet.
yeah.
Okay, well, it's time for the slow round. So
Okay.
take as long or short as you want on these questions. It's totally up to you. Um, what are your beliefs around inspiration?
Mm. For the longest time, I think I was thinking that you kind of had to like wait around for inspiration, like the whole like wait for inspiration to strike
Yeah,
idea. And at some point during college, I don't know what made me realize it, but I call it my epiphany because I like remember when it happened.
yeah,
And like from like one month to the next, I was like, what am I doing? I can't do it this way. And I started kind of like a writing habit for myself. And that's basically when I wrote most of the album that came out in
yeah,
last year, because I started kind of counting everything as writing. Like I would work on it every day, but even if I would write one line, it like counted.
yeah,
Um, because that's another thing I'm very guilty of is kind of like writing off my accomplishments or like writing off my achievements, right?
Hmm.
As not counting. So I was like, okay, everything counts and it's going to be a habit. Like it's going to be something that I do every day.
Yeah.
And slowly but surely the songs came out. Um, because I think before then I was thinking of songwriting as like, well, like something has to happen or like an idea has to come to me. And I realized that's not true.
Yeah.
I can actively come up with ideas.
I
So
love
that
that.
that was kind of a big thing for me.
Yeah.
Um, since then, of course, I've gone through other phases where I don't write again and I don't have the habit, and then I have to kind of grapple with like, okay, like creativity still comes in waves, or there's kind of seasons to this because then we have to record everything, and that kind of takes another like part of your brain or part of your energy. I don't know.
Yeah. What do you find yourself writing about most?
I write most about relationships. Um, Not necessarily romantic relationships. I write a lot about friendships too.
Hmm.
And I like to write about kind of like the dynamics of those relationships and kind of how they're playing out, like what it really means to be close to somebody, or like, can you really like know where you stand with somebody, or, things like that.
Yeah.
And I tend to be a very black and white thinker, which is not how the world works. So I think I write a lot about kind of getting like the gray areas of life and trying to be like, okay, the gray areas are okay. Like the world isn't black and white.
Yeah. Is there any advice you would give to a new songwriter?
Man, I don't know if I feel qualified to give advice.
That's
um,
fine too.
yeah, I'm not sure,
Cool.
honestly.
That's fine. What is a creative goal of yours?
A goal of mine, I would like to develop more of, I guess I would say, an easygoing practice for myself.
Mm.
Um, in regards to songwriting, I think I maybe hold it too tightly. And I think that
Yeah.
is probably what maybe keeps me from doing it as much as I'd like to.
Sure.
Um, yeah, I think I have to figure out what that is.
Yeah. Do you have a music artist that you've been especially into recently?
I don't listen to a ton of music, to be honest. And listen to, I'm a big nostalgia listener. Like I listen to the stuff I've been listening to forever.
Yeah.
But I found this one song by Lydia Luce, I think you pronounce her name,
Hmm.
called Mammoth. And I've been listening to that over and over and over again.
Cool.
Just that one song.
I'll check that out. Who are some of those nostalgia artists that you listen to a bunch?
I listen to Kathleen Edwards a lot and Sarah Harmer, Suzanne Vega. Those are
Cool.
kind of my like my big three inspirations.
Nice. Any writers or friends that listeners should check out that you want to shout out?
Um, yeah. My friend Abigail Oakley, she's really awesome. I listen to her too, honestly.
Nice.
She is based here in Nashville, and I'm going to be playing some shows with her later this year.
Nice.
And she's an incredible songwriter.
Sweet. And last thing is if there's anything to promote and or where can people find you?
Yeah. Obviously that record, that's my debut record, so
Heck yeah.
it's kind of that's what I have out. Um, and the Substack, that's the new thing that I'm doing and I'm excited about. And Instagram, I guess that's probably the social media I'm on the most.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, Rami, thank you so much. I I really enjoyed this. I feel like I got a lot from it. I like, I don't know, a couple times you kind of, you discounted your maybe writing, qualifications is absolutely the wrong word, but I just want to say, as someone who has listened to your stuff, I think it's fantastic. And so,
Well, thank you. Thanks.
I think that in the future, should anyone ever ask if you have any advice to give a young songwriter, I think you'd be able to nail it.
Okay. I'll have to think about my advice.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for listening to my conversation with Remi Goode. You can find her music wherever you stream music, and you can follow her on Instagram and TikTok at _RemiGoode_. If you enjoyed the episode, it would mean a lot to me if you shared it with a friend and left a positive review. Those both really help the show. You can watch full video of all episodes on YouTube if you search Travis Barrett and the Freewrite. And if you have the means and would like to support myself and the show even more, you can check out my Patreon page. I post unreleased demos, music recommendations, and bonus content from the podcast weekly. I really want to keep this show going, and supporting me on Patreon is the best way to make sure that it continues. Thank you again so much for listening this far. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I hope you make some time for yourself to create something today.